loud one today.
Yes.
Thank you, Matthew.
Here we go.
Just raise your hand and I can get you guys a mic. Go ahead.
Obviously their comeback and all that, but
Right.
I want to start just how you got the lead and but how active you guys were defensively,
Right.
especially Ethan and Brandon getting in passing lanes and doing
Right.
those things. And I think for one of the few times this year you guys were able to play in transition.
Right.
And how big was that to get the lead that you got?
Oh, it was huge because, Zach gets 2 fouls and we built the lead without Zach in there. And, Trey Kaufman played well and did some really good things. But our activity with our hands, it's obviously from our perspective. I think he would look at it as being careless, where we look at it like it's good D. It's probably somewhere in between. But I thought our guys' hands were really good at that time, that last 4 or 5 minutes of the first half. And just being able to generate, some layups, getting to the free throw line, and then having a couple, step-in threes there really built the momentum for that lead.
Now you go into the postseason 26-5, but I think your team's incredibly battle-tested. Even though today maybe you didn't want to be,
Right.
You've been in a lot of these close games. You've won a lot of these close games. How valuable is that going into now, where it's a one-and-done situation?
Yeah, they're a tough matchup for us to be up 21 points. They got in these situations all year, whether they're up or they're down. They've been a team of runs. And when they get it going, there's nobody better in the country. And so we knew, getting that lead at halftime, obviously you want to make free throws and convert and do a better job than we did. But, they made some tough threes and they got back in there. Just a different style, for us, especially with Zach and trying to match up. And, when they go smaller, it's a little more difficult. Just all the different teams in our league are going to get you prepared. And I think that's why, like you talked about, we get battle tested. I think everybody in our league is battle tested, and it's hard. And it's really hard to go from game to game and adjust to some things, especially when you're on the road.
Coach, back on the defense, especially in the last 30 seconds of the game there, Ethan's play on Shannon to force that turnover.
Right.
Seems like it was a calculated risk of sorts, considering you could get the foul, but obviously gets a turnover. Just, again, the aggressiveness that you guys showed on defense, just how did it help you guys down the stretch?
Yeah, and we talked about Terrence Shannon when he gets on the break of, not matching up, just knowing when he gets it and he gets going downhill and he's so fast. We had to put 2 to 3 people on him. He still got that 1-and-1, late. But, I thought it was just a really good, defensive play. It's away from me. And I thought our contest on the 3-pointers, they were trying to make plays initially because time was against them. And that helps us. When they run offense and break us down, obviously they're going to have more success. But I thought our guys did a good job there late in the game, after really struggling there for about a 10-minute, really from 10, 12 minutes, we really struggled making free throws, converting at the offensive end, and stopping them.
Hey, Matt, I know you can't anticipate a team, right, but
All right,
I know
thank
you
you.
can't. I know you can't anticipate a team being down like Illinois was. Are you surprised no one's came out and pressed you from the start of the game yet?
Well, some people have. There's people that have jumped us, right away, and it's normally the people that have the most success are the people that don't press. When we know people press and they're going to come after us, we put in the work. And it's not like we didn't work on press here with these guys. Even though they don't do a lot of it, we still worked on it. We just got to do a better job of passing and catching. But yeah, it's just your style. If you feel like that's something that you want to do and you don't do it all the time, I think coaches are hesitant to do that. When it's their deal, and that's what they normally do, they're going to do that. They're going to come after you, especially with Zach. I think people, they're going to want to pressure, get after us, extend, so we can't get the ball in those situations. And then obviously they're just trying to generate turnovers, for themselves.
Brendan Newman doubled his season average in minutes today.
Yeah.
34 minutes. What's he bringing right now that you want out of your guards for that spike in minutes and he's been starting last few games?
Well, he's got the spike in minutes because of what he's done defensively. I thought he was good against Indiana. I thought he got some steals against Wisconsin and got us a couple easy baskets. I thought he did a really good job in the first half on Shannon and just the attention to detail. And it's something that if he gives it that kind of effort and gives that kind of energy on the defensive end, you're going to stay in the game. And if he stays in the game, he's a good enough offensive player where he can knock down shots and just keep things simple. I thought some of the best things he did offensively today was just jump stopping and making an extra play. whereas before he was, would force some of those things, and he just kind of took what the defense gave him. But I thought he was great. If you can rebound and you can defend and play without turning it over, I don't care who you are, you're going to put yourself in a good position.
Hey Matt, put in perspective how special this is. These guys winning this Big Ten championship.
Yeah, well, it's great, to win a Big Ten championship, but to win it by 3 games, with the competition in this league, and you have an unbalanced, schedule too. So whether that helps us, hurts us, or kind of in between, things like that, you can kind of go back and forth with all that. But when you play 20 games, man, it's a grind. It is a real grind. So just proud of our guys, and to be able to hang in there. And we went 7-3 on the road, but when you win your first 6 road games, when you lose 3 straight, like, you don't look at it that way. You look like California's going off in the ocean.
You ever recall a player not needing a ladder to cut down a net?
No. We had one of them come to our house for Thanksgiving. That was 7-3 that changed the light bulbs without a ladder. That was pretty cool. So they told me to go down there to do it, and I'm not big into stuff like that. So no, we don't need a ladder for sure.
Matt, I'm wondering your thoughts on Coleman Hawkins and his impact just on the game. That huge stat line, but was a +12 tonight.
Yeah. He, and I think that was, if you look at his +12, a lot of that has to do with his 2 fouls and not being in when we made that run. And he just causes a lot of problems that you don't see. You just don't see 6'10" guys that's that long, that can handle the ball, bring the ball up, dribble in place, make threes, and then make other plays. Probably his thing, if like growing into a pro, being a point forward, like once he can get to where he's a great decision maker, his value is really going to go up because he's got all the physical ability, he's got the skill level, he's so long, he's an interchangeable piece that can guard bigs, he can guard guards, he can switch ball screens. He's a really tough cover, and like each year he's gotten better too, right? And obviously he has more responsibility on this team, and that happens when you lose a lot of guys, but he's a really good player. He's got a bright future. And man, like Terrence Shannon physically has got some real tools. His speed, his ability to shoot, he's got to be able to piece it all together. But if you can do some of those things and you can guard at that next level and you can guard a lot of different people, a lot of young people don't understand about being a pro. Like what can you do as a pro? Like what can you, well, defense can get you there, rebounding can get you there, your attitude can get you there. If you got a combination of all that and you can make threes in today's game, you can play a long time professionally.
Matt, I see Zach's was -10. It's probably rare. You said kind of that more of, Illinois going smaller, 5 out, or was it more maybe function of his foul trouble? Or
Yeah, I would say a little bit of both. When you get out of the game, you're not as engaged. I was so ecstatic at how well we played without him. That was a great sign for us. You get into foul trouble and you worry about it, and we grew that lead. We had a player a while back that would get this way in college. You got to settle when you have skill for the 5 to 6, 7 foot jump hook. Just take it. There at the end, he kept trying to get closer and closer to get a layup. You can't get a layup every single time, even though at times you think that he can. And he just got bottled up. He wasn't going off of 2 feet. He started to step off of 1 foot. They were doing a good job. They came ball side in the first half, and that's what we thought they would do. Then the second half, they came big to big. So you got to be able to kind of adjust to it. But when the ball gets passed from the top, that's where you're most vulnerable. It's really hard to double the post when the ball comes from the top. So that's what we try to do the most of when people are really aggressive. It's not obviously a secret for coaches. Coaches definitely understand that. But no, you just got to slow down sometimes. And sometimes the best play is just to take a pause, pass fake, pump fake, whatever, and then be a distributor at that time. And then when he distributes and he passes the ball, we get easy layups, we get wide open threes. Then they're not as quick to dump one right there. But I think the combination of that, and then also I think Illinois did a better job in the second half on him.
Matt, you talked earlier this year about Trey's confidence being maybe low.
Yeah.
Is it on the other side now? He seems very comfortable in there right now.
Yeah, he should play more. Like he's such a good player, and they're going small, and I only play him 2-3 minutes in the second half, and like he did a really good job. But we're going back with Zach, and so that's hard. But no, he was great. He took his time on a couple of those post ups. He stuck that 3. He's really improved defensively. He's put a lot of time into it. He's really worked at it. He's put a lot of time into his game. So like, you know, he's got a bright future.
Hey, Matt, talk about Brady's ball handling skills. Obviously, people are pressing, but what's he meant to this team this year with those skills he brought?
Yeah, you know, I was happy to see him get to his pull-up. Like, you know, when people are in those deep drops, you know, you got to go make them pay with that easy pull-up 15-footer. And he got a couple of those for us. He got the jump stop, little finger roll there in the first half also. But no, just being aggressive and not having predetermined thoughts. I thought he did a good job tonight. They're a little bit different because they're in a deep drop, and people will play the drop against us, but not as deep as they do. And, you know, I thought he did a really good job. I thought he did a good job against the press, you know, handling the basketball. So just got to keep going, you know, with him. Like, you know, just take what the defense gives you. You know, don't get stuck in thinking about what you're going to do before. He has really good instincts. Just play off of your instinct.
Matt, over here, you mentioned Illinois in the game of runs. When you were scouting them, was there any common thread that maybe tied some of those runs together? It seems like their pendulum swings.
Yes.
Really far one way or
Yeah.
another.
You know, they take, for most people, tough threes. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's tough for them. So like Mayer and Shannon, you know, shoot those step back threes. And, you know, you just got to stay with them, stay on your feet. The one time we left our feet, when Brady left his feet, Mayer got the foul in the corner in front of their bench. You just got to stay with them and make them tough. When they get a step-in three in the second half and transition back-to-back, you know, it seemed like back-to-back possessions. Sometimes it's hard to chronologically know the order of plays. When they get those, that's what you can't do. And they got active with their hands, they got steals, and they got those. But when they make those tough step-backs, or, you know, Luke Goody made a 30-footer there at the end, like, you live with those. You just can't hand them stuff. But they're just a team of runs. That's the way they've played all year. Like, they can get in the game for 10, 15 minutes, and then, like, you're just stopping them. Then all of a sudden, like, then you can't stop them. And I think that's what happened tonight. I thought we did some good things, and then in the second half, like, you know, I don't think we were as good defensively and we weren't as detailed. But then once they start to see the ball going a little bit, it just seems to get contagious for them. I can't put one thing on them. You know, we didn't want the ball in the paint. And so, like, Sincere Harris did a good job of getting on the glass a couple of times. We just didn't box him out. And then he sticks a three. You know, he can have that. You know, we just wanted to get him and Rogers and make sure we helped, but kept them out of the paint. Because Rogers is so explosive at working downhill, and we just wanted to bottle everybody up. But then stay with Shannon, and then stay with Matthew Mayer, because we knew how streaky they were. And then Coleman Hawkins is one, he's streaky himself, just kind of see how it evolves with him. If he makes a couple, then you got to stick with him. If he doesn't, then you can, you know, give him a little bit of space. He won't be as aggressive.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nebraska.